I know that we talked last week about going over the 4 basic prospecting scenarios. There she is. Hey, Stacey. So yeah, but as I was going through the materials, I'm just not feeling it this week. I really feel like we're all not in that place right now, you know, because a lot of the materials I need to go through and synthesize better, because he was talking about some pretty hardcore like recruiting stuff, and I need more time to process it to make it right for you guys, just because I can't really wrap my head around some of the themes and stuff that he was talking about, and some of the info that he gives is kind of generalized to work for any kind of MLM, and I think that once I've had a more time to review it, I can make it more relevant for us, if that makes sense. I don't want to share info with you guys that is like, you're going to look at it and be like, oh, what do I do with this? So I thought what we could do is just sort of brainstorm, because we have Clean Week that just launched and we're all doing. And then we've got the partner workout Double Time coming up in November. And that's the one that's like, you have to have a partner to complete it. And it's Tony Horton, who's amazing. He was the first trainer I ever did like a whole program through. We did P90X a long time ago, back before we even really knew what Beachbody was. John just wanted it he saw the infomercial and we got it and did it and yelled at Tony for a long time. So I thought maybe we could just sort of, you know, now that we're doing our challenge group and we've got these things coming up, we just sort of brainstorm some ideas together, like what's working, what's not working. You guys are part of all of my challenge groups, so like what you would like to see more of, what you think would be more helpful, that kind of thing. I just want to keep it really kind of like, you know, easy going and everybody just sort of, you know, jump in or whatever. So Stacy had an amazing live this afternoon. That was really, really a lot of value with the extracts. Like, I never thought of that. And I'm like, dang it. I worked for like an entire year and took my Shakeology and I'd have to get up early and make it. And I could have just been doing flavors instead. I think that was really, really good. So that's the kind of stuff, like adding value, that your challengers are going to really appreciate, because, you know, even you think, like, I've been a coach for 1.5 years now and I never thought of that. So it's likely that your challengers maybe haven't thought of that, and people are always looking for ways to dress up Shakeology, right? That's one of the number one things. I actually talked with a girl this afternoon that's like, oh, well, I did the Shakeology, but my coach just never, like, I asked her a couple times how to make it taste good, and she just never really helped me. So it had really turned her off to the whole experience. And, you know, it ended up, after I chatted with her for a while and showed her that I wasn't just after a sale and I truly did care about, especially making Shakeology taste good, you know, then it went a little better. But a lot of times we run onto people who, you know, Bob talks about raising resistance. And so he says, like, don't say your company name right away, because a lot of times people just go and Google it, or they've had some sort of experience like this girl had, and they've got a bad taste in their mouth. And so if we can sort of brainstorm some ways, you know, that, you know, what do you think that our audience would like to see? What do you think that our challengers need? Thinking back to when you first started coaching and how far you've come now, like, what do you think has made, you know, the biggest difference, and what has kept you consistent, and what do you think that your audience is going to need? So feel free, whoever wants to just jump in there with whatever, you know, whatever ideas you had, if you had any ideas for your group going forward, or anything like that.
I'll pop in.
Go for it.
So I've noticed, if you guys ever follow Kelsey Smith, when she does groups and stuff, she does them as a theme, like a Friends theme. I can't remember. She did like a Harry Potter theme. Like, they're all really cool, and I think it keeps them kind of motivated to keep going because it's something that they enjoy.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that would be, I think you'd have to find, that would be a really good way to attract literally your tribe, because like, I don't really know much about Harry Potter, but you know, Friends is amazing. So if you're using subjects like that you're passionate about, like I could totally do a Big Bang Theory or a Frasier. Those are like the ones that I watch all the time, you know? So, and then when you start advertising that, then people are like, oh, I love those shows. So you know for sure that you're getting your people that are reaching out to you. So it's a really handy way. And like she said, you know, to keep them involved. I really want to try the team approach, I think, sometimes, because I haven't done that before, but it seems to really keep people engaged, because there's an extra layer of accountability, because she divides them up into teams. So it's like you don't only have your coach to answer to, but then you've got, you know, 3 or 4 other people who are depending on you to win this challenge so that you get, you know, the Dunkin' Donuts gift card or whatever it is that she's giving away for that week. So, so yeah, I think that would be a really good way to add an extra layer of accountability. What else do you guys think? What other ideas have you had, or have you had ideas and thought, oh, I don't know if that would be a really good idea. Like this would be a safe place to share it, just to kind of bounce it off. We'll use each other as a sounding board.
I haven't really, well, I'm still trying to get people to actually join my group. So I'm kind of at that stage. I've talked to a few people and they seem interested. So hopefully, you know, they will be. But because of that, I don't know, I haven't really gotten past that as far as additional ideas on how to create a really great challenge group. I mean, I want to make one that's more focused on Shakeology, just because of how it's helped me so much. And I figure then whatever exercise program people want to start with, that would be great. But I want to really focus on the Shakeology portion of it. So I guess it's not really a theme necessarily, but that's kind of what I got moving forward, at least anyways.
Yeah, that's a really good thing, because Shakeology is such an important component to the formula, right? Like filling in those nutritional gaps and helping reduce your cravings and that sort of thing. So a lot of times people just, you know, oh, I just want the workout. And, you know, we'll talk sometime about the 500 PV model, where you just sort of fulfill the formula. I know, Stacy, you've watched that video, right? So we'll talk about that. But, you know, with Clean Week, that's a great way to introduce Shakeology. And, you know, then there are the workouts that give us all the different, you know, different programs, kind of a little taste or whatever. Today had Turbo Jam, and I was like, oh my God, I did that in college. Like I told John as we were doing the little punch across thing, I was like, oh, I used to do this in our apartment in Fairmont when we were dating. He was like, oh my God, blast from the past. So that was cool. But yeah, Clean Week is a really good, not only for introducing that, and then you have so many ways of, you know, featuring Shakeology, because people are gonna, you know, they see you posting about it, and a lot of people, like with my posts and stuff, the majority of them are like, oh, well, I have been really curious about Shakeology, but the price has been off-putting for them, you know. So to be able to sample each one of the flavors, we really need to make that a focus on our groups that we have coming up, because a lot of times people they don't know how to make it, and they aren't proactive enough. And it's kind of annoying if you're a proactive person that'll just go and do, like, if I want to know how to make something better, I'm going to Google how to make it better or go to Pinterest or whatever. But there are people that don't do that, and that's just part of our job as coaches, you know, especially as starting out, they need some extra hand hold. So, focusing a lot on Shakeology and really being hand in hand with them about, you know, how are you liking it? Here's a new recipe. Like there's seven packets in the sampler. So I'm planning for my group coming up, I'm going to go live every day with a different recipe, because people love that. And it's a super simple way to do a live. Like you guys saw Stacy do it this evening, and it was awesome, and it was informative.
It was.
I'm still blown away that I never.
You did really good.
Yeah, it was good. So I'm just planning. I'm already like in my head, like, okay, I'm going to go live each day. I'm going to, go ahead on like Pinterest or whatever. I have a huge board with all kinds of 21-day fix recipes and stuff like that. And there's Shakeology on there. I'm going to find some that sound good, or we have, when you get your Shakeology, we get these are on our Coach Online office too, like the 30 days worth of recipes in the calendar, and they've got them for every flavor. So you can look on there, and some of them are super simple. The chocolate orange with chocolate and orange juice and water. Super easy. Most people have that stuff on hand. Or like the PB&J one. We did that one the other day. Oh my God. So good. So taking little resources like that and taking 5 minutes to go in there and say, hey, I'm making my shake. And I'll just like grab all the ingredients beforehand so they're right there in front of me. Pop on, say, hey, I'm getting ready to make my shake for the day. Go step by step through what the ingredients are, mix it up and try it and give an honest opinion. Most of the time they're really, really good. Occasionally you get some that are not so good. But I can't remember any right offhand that I've been like, ew, because they're mostly really good. People aren't going to put them on the internet if they taste like crap. So
except when you use too much mint extract and you set your mouth on fire.
Girl, yes. I have cleared my sinuses quite a few times. I definitely measure it now.
Don't just splash that in there. It's not going to be good.
It is very overpowering. Oh, God. And there was a time in college where I was on the wrong end of some peppermint schnapps and brushed my teeth for about a week. So, I feel you on the mints. Definitely one to be careful with and stress to them. You're going to want to measure this. So, but just something simple like that where it's, they don't know that we're more experienced with the product. We know the value of it. So to be able to show them, hey, drink this every day. Here's a simple recipe that you can try, you could do it like in the evening so that they have it the night before for the next morning. You could do it first thing in the morning or just whenever, so that they have it as a resource to come back to. But Shakeology is definitely something important to stress. And I will probably, some of the more exotic ingredients that are in it that people are like, what's ashwagandha? Just do like a little, were you guys all in the Slim Empowerment group when I did the like Shakeology?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been trying to pull from it since every one of my all access customers have went off Shakeology. At this point, I would just like for them to like acknowledge that I've posted, because I know they're all seeing it, but it's just like crickets.
Yeah.
In my group, I'm like, what are you doing?
Have you been following up with them in private message?
Did. And they're all like, well, I'm doing stuff. I'm like, okay, if you say so.
Okay, that's something we can definitely go over those messages. That's actually, I had my one-on-one with Nat today, and I was talking with her about how to revive the grads, basically, like the ones that have been with you for a long time or the ones that have sort of fallen off and stuff like that. So that is something that you and I can do a one-on-one about if you want to, because she gave me some really, really good ideas today. So just really like stressing the importance of it and how it's not just a protein shake, and talking about the ingredients and giving good recipes, but also sharing, Jen with her all of her stomach issues and how it helps that a lot. Kayla with her migraines or, just whatever. So just showing them the value in it that goes beyond, this is just something that's a snack that's going to keep you full in between meals, because it is so much more than that. So it has to be something that you've attached meaning to as well. Okay, what else can we, are you guys planning to do any people love competition as much as they say that they don't. People love to win stuff. And I found in my last few groups that have been, people have been uber successful in their goals is because I have them do a daily check-in. I post it like at 8 o'clock at night and I say, all right, by noon tomorrow, check in here and you get like a point or whatever for your check-ins. And if you've checked in every day that week, then you get a prize drawing, like an entry in the prize drawing for each day that you check in. And then I'll give away like a Starbucks gift card or an Amazon gift card or something, you know, something that's not like, it doesn't have to be huge value, especially for a 7-day group, but people still like to win, you know? So that not only does that give them something to strive toward because they know they're going to have their check-in, but it keeps them accountable because they know they're going to have their check-in. And nobody wants to be like, and I'll usually ask like, how did you do with the meal plan today? Did you drink your Shakeology today? Did you get your workout in and how did you feel? How much water did you drink? And then I'll put something like, tell me one good thing that happened today. Tell me one positive thing that made you smile today. Something like that, so that it's not all just like reporting, you know, it's also giving them something positive to focus on. Because a lot of times we have crappy days and it's hard to find something. So if they have to actually within that check-in find something to be grateful for, that helps with the mental aspect as well, which is also what we're working on. We're strengthening the outside by strengthening the inside, you know? So we need to help people with that. It's so easy because we're so in the routine of doing it, you know? It is really easy to forget what it was like before you started and how like overwhelmed or confused or, you know, just not really sure where to start and stuff like that. So really, really trying to go back and think like, what did I need when I got started? Like what made this attractive to me and what am I going to deliver to these people that are going to, you know, provide a ton of value and make it a good experience for them? Because not only, you know, making Shakeology taste good and getting them excellent results and making them feel included like they're part of a community and showing them how to eat right. Not only that, you know, but they're gaining confidence and they'll get great results that you can then share, you know. I love to shout out my challengers and be like, girlfriend lost like 11 pounds with 21-day fix or whatever. You know, so that sort of thing will help move your business forward because now it's not only you getting results, but people that you work with. So you can show people, hey, I'm the real deal. And not only just for me, but for these people too. And it's powerful. It is so powerful to be able to say, this person achieved this, good for them. And I had a very small part of it and I can do it for you too. Like people love that. People absolutely love that because they are so inundated with infomercial type crap that when they get to see it from a real person that they know in real life, it's like so much more convincing and so much more refreshing. And when these people start getting really good results, you get referrals too. I got tagged in a post today, one of the girls that did my 21-day fix, and bless her, she's been with me since the very beginning. She fell off for a long time. She finally came back. She crushed it. And she's like, already like, I miss my daily check-ins. When are we starting the next round? Like she's really, really super into it now because it just wasn't the right time for her before. We have to keep that in mind too. Like we can't take it personally if somebody does great in a challenge group and then a couple months later falls off because life happens and sometimes it's just not the right time. But we can't give up on them. Like we would be doing them a huge disservice if we just left them be, right? So still follow up, still check in. I would still check in on her every couple of weeks. Like, hey, how's it going? I know you've got a lot going on and stuff like that. Now she's back. She tags me in a post today. One of her friends had said, you know, I need to start a weight loss journey and I'm having such a hard time being accountable. And so she posted and was like, hey, my friend Tiffany, she'll be really great about keeping you accountable. You know, you should consider joining one of her groups. And now I've talked to this girl and she wants to sign up for Clean Week. I didn't even have to do anything other than just be a good coach. And she told people about it. And I can't tell you how many people, when you start, you know, getting that, when you start really showing the consistency with yourself and showing that you can get results not only for yourself, but for other people, people start paying attention. And then they're grateful, you know, that you haven't, that you've helped them and that you haven't given up on them. And they tell other people about it. And then they tell other people about it. And then they tell other people about it. And then all of a sudden you've got this, you know, this great network that you really didn't have to go out and pound the pavement so much. Does that make sense? Because we all feel squidgy about messaging people, right? So if we can do a really, really freaking good job of getting the people that are agreeing to work with us the results that they want, it's just going to naturally happen that they're going to tell people about it. They're going to think of you, but you have to show up as their coach. You have to show up and be there for them, and really try to put yourself in their place and, feel what they're feeling. And even if you haven't gone through it, like, I don't know what it's like to need to lose like 75 pounds. I can't relate to that, but I know what it's like to feel hopeless and to feel overwhelmed and to feel like, oh my God, my body's just ridiculous and I hate it so bad, for not doing what it's supposed to do. I get that. So if you, can really get down into your heart and like pull those feelings together and then apply them to the people that you're working with, it makes it so much easier to be there for them and to want to provide value, because otherwise we'd all just still be out there trying to figure out what the hell to do, right? So just keeping that in mind, like, the more that you pour into it, the greater the return is going to be on it. And if you half-ass your coaching, people get half-ass results and your business is half-ass. That's just how it goes. Like, the more that you pour in, and it might seem like a lot of work initially, but once you've done it a few times, it gets so much easier, just like anything else in life, just like everything except maybe burpees in the workout world. Those don't ever seem to get easier. I don't really know why. But when you start out and you're lifting 2.5 pound weights, and then you move up to 5s, and then you move up to 10s, because you've kept on doing it, because it's repetition and it's gotten easier and you're getting stronger. Same thing goes with, figuring out how to be there for your people. So, what would you say, each of you, with the audience that you're talking to, what seems to be their biggest thing, their biggest holdup, their biggest hang up?
Any of the people that I've talked to, it's a mix. Actually, a friend of mine from way back when, we reconnected on Facebook when I finally got a Facebook account, not that long ago. She's got some health issues, and she's got quite a bit of weight that she wants to lose as well, but she's going to be quitting smoking on the 20th. And because I asked her about Clean Week, and she said, oh, it's too bad, so I'm going to be quitting smoking on the 20th, and I could really use, some help and everything. And I told her, I'm like, well, I'm going to have another challenge group starting up pretty much right after. So I told her I'd keep her posted, but I've talked to people, and it's a big mix. I mean, it's all women. They all have some type of, I guess, ailment or something, sickness-wise. So maybe that's kind of the consistency. But it's just, I've found that it's been a mix, at least with anybody that I've talked to.
Okay.
So.
Kayla, what about you?
Usually it comes down to price and time.
Even with Clean Week, people have price objections?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I know, right?
You'll have to screenshot me some of your conversations and
Hi, Kennedy.
You missed her lipstick, Stacey. She had all the makeup.
Sorry, she's got a full face of makeup on right now.
Sorry.
She's a mess. Oh, you've got your personal assistant there.
Yep, there's Cloudy, everyone.
Just look at me. So what about you, Stacey? What are you hearing as far as like what your people's issues are?
I'm just starting to get back into like messaging and talking to people, because it didn't seem like really right with everything that was going on. So a lot of the people I talk to are people that just have never worked out before, that just wasn't their thing. So those are the people that are drawn to me. I get a lot of the price objections too, but most of the people are those ones that have never like worked out, have been like overweight their whole life, and just, don't know where to start.
Right. So those are all things that we offer solutions to, whether it's a health related thing, whether it's not knowing how to get started, that's a beautiful thing, because, you know, here you are and we've got all these tools to help you. And not only that, you get a human being that you don't have to pay, that is experienced, that knows how to do it, you know, and you're going to have a whole group, and I'm going to be there, you know, beside you the whole time, showing you how to do it. Like, you know, Stacey, before you started coaching, were you like really into fitness? Were you, you know, a worker outer or anything?
Just off and on, but, you know, people knew that I was an athletic trainer, so I would treat like that my background was in that, so they probably think more of like injury and things like that. The people that actually knew what that was. You still get the people that think athletic trainer is the same thing as a personal trainer. But.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that a lot. My husband's best friend has been an athletic trainer, and he gets that too. He's like, I don't know how to like tell you what weights to lift, you know, but I can help you hurt yourself when you do.
Heather told me I told her, I was like, I kind of miss athletic training. She's like, just come hang out at football practice with me. She's a trainer now at state, so.
Yeah, she got a big time promotion. But yeah, so as you're talking to people and you're exploring their issues, because really a lot of it, you know, a lot of people's problems, it starts as a vanity thing. You know, they're like, I want to lose weight to look better, you know, to fit in my clothes and whatever. It's like superficial, but when you get down to it, there's so much more than that. So to be a good coach, you have to not only figure out what their superficial reasons are that initially attract them, but you have to help them kind of peel away the layers of the onion to figure out what it is in there that makes them, because a lot of people, it's a confidence thing. You know, they were made fun of when they were a kid, or, you know, maybe their spouse rags on them for not losing the baby weight, or, you know, they've got horrible coworkers that say mean things about them, or just whatever, you know, a lot of the confidence things that hold people back from making a change, or that people want to make a change about, but they just can't you can't just attach it to something superficial. It's not going to stick. And if they have tried and failed and think that nothing works, it's because they haven't attached a meaning to it. So it's our job as coaches to, okay, you want to lose 20 pounds and look great for your high school, you know, reunion or whatever. Awesome. We can get them started with something on that, but we also have to work with them as people, as human beings, to like, what would this mean to you if you could achieve it? Like, what would it look like to you if you could achieve it? And hands down, pretty much every time, they've had a lack of support in their life. They've had a lack of, you know, help and guidance. They've had, you know, some sort of thing that has made them unhappy and lose their confidence and that kind of thing. And if they can just attach to that, it makes it so much easier for them to stay on track because they have a reason. Have I told you guys about my lady that was like 350 pounds when we started working together? Right? So I talked to her the other day, and bless her heart, she's got so many problems, and she fell down trying to save her little dog from a big dog, and she like fractured her knee and tore her meniscus, and she's got something going on with her foot and whatever. And so she's like freaking out, like, I can't be active. And she's not out there cardio kickboxing and stuff. She's like, you know, doing the modified version of UV2 and stuff like that. But her butt is up there every day doing it. You know what I mean? She has every reason in the world to give up. She has every excuse in the world. You know, she's still heavy. She's 265 pounds or something like that now. She's also almost 100 pounds, which is freaking awesome. You know, she's got health, but she's still got a lot of health problems. And her doctor told her, oh, lose 50 pounds and I'll give you this surgery that's going to help your health. And then when she did, he said, well, lose 50 more and then I'll do it. You know, she's got every reason in the world. And I said, you know, I wish that more people that I worked with had your level of dedication. And she said, it's not dedication. It is, wait, let me find the message and read it to you because she worded it so beautifully. And it was basically like, it's not, you know, dedication because it's an inherent thing. It's survival. Like, this is how I have to do this to live, you know? So helping people find what their reason for surviving is that's our number one job as a coach, to help them figure out what it is that is keeping them so unhappy and so down and so frustrated, and attaching that to, all right, here's how we can help with that. Not only are we going to physically change you, we're going to change you from the inside out. And you're going to have a ton of support with it. And you're going to have a lot of guidance. And I'm going to be here with you every step of the way. And we're going to celebrate the milestones. That's our job as coaches. Our job isn't to sell challenge packs, to sell bags of Shakeology and whatever. Our job is to help people get better because somebody helped us get better, you know? So let me find that message and read it to you, because she makes me cry on a regular basis. I'm like, why is it that the 350-pound lady is the one that kicks everybody's ass and being amazing, you know? She messaged me today, I want to do your next challenge, but I'll be limited on exercising. She freaking has a fractured knee. She's still like, I want to do your challenge because she knows. She said, I don't think it's so much dedication. It's just a desire to have a life and actually partake in things with my family.
Aww.
That's powerful, you know? I think people have to remember it's about getting healthy and not just losing weight. Absolutely, Chantel, right? She's amazing. And that's what we have to remember too. That's what we have to remind people, that it's not just a superficial thing. There's so much more riding on this, but what is your thing? What's riding on this for you? That's our job as coaches, is to help figure that out. And we can do that, smooth sailing from there on. So any other ideas? We've got about 5 minutes or so before this cuts off. So any other ideas, questions, comments?
I've really been thinking about doing a group centered around like a book too, like something with like a reading. One of the people I reached out into my challenge group said that, she wanted to do it, but she just didn't have any motivation. I need to give her motivation. And so I suggested to her to reading a couple of personal development group books, because I don't understand why she doesn't have motivation, because she's someone that like won an award for like being the top 30 travel agents under 30, and she does travel arrangements for like athletes or celebrities and music people, and goes on all these trips and stuff. And it's like, I know she's motivated in her work, but she just has to figure out how to focus that motivation onto her workouts and stuff. So I was thinking something centered around like a personal development book along with the program might be a good challenge group.
Yeah, absolutely. Because chances are, if she is that laser focused on her work, if she is that motivated and that good, people get that way because they have some sort of driving force that's making them like, I have to be the best at this because there's some kind of inner confidence issue. So I bet if you could get to the root of that, of, what would it mean to you? Like, you're not motivated. You say that you want to do these things, but you're not motivated. Well, why do you want to lose the weight? Why do you want to get in shape? What do you think that would do for you? What would it mean to you if you could? That's a key question. I ask that one a lot, and people just pour their hearts out. And this is after we've gone through, like, what's a typical day of eating look like for you? How would you rate your nutrition on a scale from 1 to 10? How would you rate your fitness on a scale from 1 to 10? What kind of exercise do you like? Like all the superficial stuff. And then when I say, okay, tell me what it would mean to you if you could accomplish that goal. And if you've researched them a lot on their page, like if it's somebody that you've been kind of conversating back and forth with and you're kind of keeping up with them, a lot of times it'll tell you. I have one lady that was trying to tell me that she needed to lose 20 pounds because she couldn't afford to go clothes shopping. I just I don't want to spend any money on clothes and stuff like that. But her husband left her for another woman that was like 10 years younger. So I told her, don't be afraid to call people on BS either. Nicely, obviously. I wasn't like, oh, BS, Melissa. I know it's, but I said, after she kind of went radio silence on me for a little bit. I messaged her one day and I was like, hey, listen, I saw, because she had put up a post when she found out about the affair and she ended up taking it down. And I just messaged her and I said, listen, I didn't want to say this before, but I saw that post that you put up and I know that you are so hurt right now. And I can't even imagine what that must be like to be able to go through that. I know that you are devastated and that your confidence is at an all-time low because of what just happened to you. And I just want you to know that I'm here. And, you know, exercise is a great stress reliever. We can help you get the revenge body to show him what he's missing out on. You know, you'll have a community of women that are going to be supportive and be there for you. And when you're ready, you know, let's talk. And it took her, you know, 2 weeks or so. And then she messaged back and just poured her heart out. And that's exactly what it was. But she tried to tell me that she just couldn't afford to go clothes shopping. You know, so sometimes you have to get real with people. You have to call them a little bit on their BS and not be afraid, because people are hurting worse than what we know. And sometimes it just takes a little extra push to talk about it and to really get in there, you know? So anyway, I'm sorry this was sort of unstructured, but I just wasn't feeling it. And sometimes you just got to go with, you know, go with your gut. So I feel like this was really good for us to talk about. I'm excited about our group this week. I'm so pumped to see what everybody else has to share. Please feel free to share as much as you want in there. I mean, it's a community. You want your challenge groups to be active and engaged. The ones that are engaged in the group are always the ones that get the good results. So anything that we can do to drive engagement in there and practice that, and we'll be good. So all right. Well, you guys, if you want to do one-on-ones about anything, I'm going to revamp the calendar scheduling thing. But in the meantime, just message me and we'll figure out a time, because I'm home all the time. So we can figure out a time that works for you and mastermind some stuff. So I think Clean Week is going to be really, really good. It's going to give people, you know, a way to preview it. And if we work it just right, it'll cause a lot of conversion, I think. So. All right.
Sounds good.
Any other last questions, comments, ideas?
I have a quick question in regards to Clean Week. Okay, so afterwards, let's say, you know, we get people signed up and then they want to move forward and, you know, join one of our regular challenge groups and become like a full-on customer. And I didn't look into this yet, so there could be something in the online office. But is there a transition as far as like, okay, they bought this, they spent the $30 on this. Is there a transition moving forward with that, would it be as if they were a new customer all over again if they wanted to sign up? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they'll have to make a free account with you. So then you can either do a challenge pack and just sign them up as a discount coach, or you can just do just a regular challenge pack and they're already associated with your coach account.
Gotcha.
So yeah, the transition will be really easy.
Okay.
And make sure that you know that they can only do the free Clean Week thing on a desktop or computer. You can't do it through an app.
Yeah, good point.